Hey everyone, today I want to talk to you all about something that we get asked about all the time, and that is, can I apply HTV to stainless steel? Today I'm going to walk you all through a step-by-step tutorial on how to cut HTV with your Cricut and then apply it to your stainless steel tumblers. Let's go ahead and get into it. So we are over here in the Maker's Gonna Learn website. I've got our files pulled up. I'm thinking I'm gonna use this super cute little file right here. So let's go ahead and download that, and it's gonna pop into a zip folder. If you are familiar with downloading SVGs, PNGs, things like that, you can go ahead and skip past this part. But if you are new here, I wanted to show you all quickly how to download files from the Maker's Gonna Learn website, which is our membership-based crafting community. So we have tons and tons, like over 10,000 cut files for you all to use for your Cricut needs. So I'm going to be using this super cute SVG file, and SVGs are what we like to use when we are cutting. So we've got my SVG right here. I'm going to go ahead and open up Cricut, go to your uploads, upload image, and then I can come down here to the bottom if you are on a Mac, and you can select Finder, and then we're just going to click and drag our image into that little upload area. I'm going to select upload right here. If you are using a PC, just go ahead and search for the file name in your computer, and you should be able to click and drag it from the folder that you downloaded it into. Then I'm going to select my image and add that to the canvas. Now, before we do anything else, we're going to need to resize the image that we're using for our HTV. So let's go ahead and go overhead and measure the tumbler that we're going to be applying our HTV to. So we are going to be using the Dollar Tree stainless steel tumblers. If you all have not been around for a while, we use these for so many different things. We have glitter epoxy these, we have etched them, we put regular vinyl on them, all of the above. They are our favorite crafting item from the Dollar Tree right now, and these are in the $3 to $5 section, and they are $5. And so what I want to do first before I cut anything or do any serious designing in Design Space is measure the area that I want to put my design. So let's just take our little measuring tape, and we don't want it to wrap all the way around. I want to be able to see it just from the front. So let's do it at like 4 inches wide, and then let's measure the height here by about 3.5. So let's go back into Design Space. And then I'm going to select a basic shape. I'm just going to use this square, and we are going to resize this up here to a 4-inch width by a 3.5-inch height. And then what we'll need to do is resize the image that we pulled in earlier within the parameters of our tumbler. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this to the front, and I'm going to change the color of this so you all can see what I'm doing better. And so you can see here, if we zoom in, it makes our image a little bit shorter, but that is totally fine. I want to make sure it doesn't go too wide on our cup, because I want you to be able to see it from the front. And so I feel like that's a good enough size. And what you're going to need to do next is go ahead and hide your square. That's just a guideline for us so that we can kind of see that our design is going to fit within our parameters. So I'm going to go ahead and hide that. The next thing we're going to want to do is go to make it. Now, once you're over here, we are using HTV. So the important thing with HTV is that we are cutting it from the back side. So if you're familiar with using adhesive vinyl, typically you cut it from the front, you weed it, and then you add a layer of transfer tape. If you're using HTV, you're going to be laying the HTV face down, and we're going to be cutting it from the back. So in Design Space, you're going to want to mirror your image because we're cutting it from the back side since we are using HTV today. So I'm going to go ahead and mirror that, and you can see our image has flipped completely backwards. That is perfect. So I'm going to select Continue, and we are going to be cutting on an Explore 3 today. And whenever I cut HTV, I like to use this everyday iron-on cut setting. You leave it at default pressure, and we are going to be using the standard fine point blade today. So I have picked this absolutely gorgeous, psychedelic HTV. This is from Caesar. This is their Easy Patterns Plus, and the color is in Mood Ring. You can purchase this on the 143 Vinyl website. It's 143vinyl.com, and we will link it below for you all. But like, is this not the coolest HTV you've ever seen? I think it fits really good with the vibe we're going for. So what we're gonna do, this is the front, and then when we flip it over, so you all can see I've put the HTV face down onto our standard grip mat. And what you're gonna wanna do is take a burnishing tool and make sure that it is stuck down really well to our mat so that when it does go to cut through the Cricut, it's gonna cut nice and smooth. So we're just gonna slide this in, load it into our Cricut, and this is where the Cricut's gonna do the work for us. We're just gonna follow the prompts in Design Space, and it's gonna cut all the way through. We're gonna go ahead and put our mini easy press on the second heat setting, and as soon as that turns green, that means it is ready to go. And I'm also going to go ahead and prep my tumbler using a little bit of rubbing alcohol and a paper towel. I'm just gonna clean everything to make sure that it is completely clean on the surface so our HTV doesn't mess up when we go to adhere it to the tumbler. I also like to use something to hold my tumbler in place. Now you can use a burnishing tool for this. These little crates that we use for storage around here work really well. Just something that's gonna kind of hold your tumbler right where it needs to be, so when we apply our HTV, it applies evenly and it's not crooked or anything like that. So before I remove my HTV from the mat, I'm gonna make sure that it cut all the way through, and it looks like it did, so we can go ahead and unload it. I'm gonna go ahead and cut away any excess vinyl that we're not really going to be using, and we can save this for later. And then what we're gonna do is go ahead and proceed in weeding everything around our letters off. So we wanna keep the letters on our transfer tape. And sometimes I like to kind of break the HTV. It makes it a little bit easier to weed. And I'm just gonna pull this up. I also like to weed while my vinyl is on the mat. It just makes it a little bit easier. It's considered your third hand, so it kind of gives you a little bit of support whenever you're trying to weed designs, especially ones that are intricate like this. I'm gonna use a pen tool to weed out the middles of these letters because they're so dainty. These pen tools are also on the 143 Vinyl website. We just love them so much, and they're really good for super intricate details, and like the middles of these letters are so tiny, it just helps a lot when you're trying to weed. Okay, and then we can remove our decal from our HTV, and then there you go. You can see the finished product, and now all we're gonna need to do is apply this to our tumbler. So you can technically get like a perfect central measurement here. I honestly do better when I eyeball things. So I'm just going to kind of lay this on here. The good thing about HTV is that I can lay it on here, and if it looks crooked, I can peel this off and replace it down. So I'm just going to kind of place it where I feel like it looks central and straight. And if you want, we can measure from the top edge to the top line of text. Looks about 1 inch over there and about 1 inch over there. So that's pretty good. And all we're gonna do, this is what everyone's been asking about. Can we actually apply HTV to the stainless steel? And I'm gonna show you all how easy this is. So we've got the green light on our mini press. All I'm gonna do is iron this on here, you all. This is as easy as it looks. Just kind of work in sections. Be careful not to touch the stainless steel after you've applied the heat to it, because the stainless steel will get very hot. And you can see as I'm pulling this up, the O in mom has not ironed down, and that's okay. You can just lay it back down and kind of go over it again. Be very careful. Once you start pulling up that transfer tape, don't pull it up too fast because you want to make sure that all the letters are adhered down. And there you go. Now this is still super, super hot, so make sure to let it cool entirely. A lot of people are probably gonna ask me if they should seal this. My recommendation is use high quality vinyl and you will not have to worry about sealing your vinyl projects. This is great vinyl. I do not see it coming off. I do recommend to hand wash anything that you hand make. I do not recommend you put this in the dishwasher. If you do want to seal it, you can use a dishwasher safe Mod Podge. You could technically even epoxy over it if that's something that you want to do. But honestly, you all, you can use it just like this. Hand wash it after you use it, and you're going to be good to go. I hope after seeing this, you all are feeling super confident and you're ready to apply HTV to all of your stainless steel tumblers. It really was as easy as it looks. If you all try this and you are a member, go ahead and place the picture in our Facebook group. We love seeing what you all are working on. And if you're new here and you're interested in joining our membership, we will have a link in the description below for you all. I cannot wait to see what you all come up with on your stainless steel tumblers, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.